Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And if you're here for the first time, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, a veteran in this channel, welcome back for yet another exciting episode of Risk, Money and Insurance. And so today you can see I am not alone. I mean, people have been saying I launch or whatever, or I bring, really handsome guests on the channel. It's not intentional. Those people are just brilliant people. So as you can see, I have, Sipho with me. He's a husband to a very good friend of mine, Bipilo. She's also in studio. So Sipho, can you just introduce yourself? Tell us who you are, what you do, just so people can know you. Yeah.
Okay, as you've mentioned, I'm Sipho. So I matriculated and then went to university. I went to the University of Cape Town.
The number one university in Africa, by the way. Just launching ourselves. Yeah.
So then I did a Bachelor of Business Science, Finance and Accounting. So that's a 4-year degree. Yes. And then I did my PGDA, which is otherwise known as Postgraduate Diploma in Accounting. Yes. So other universities use CTA. So then I did that in my 5th year, and then 2018 I graduated, so I was done.
Yeah.
And then 2019 I started articles at a bank. That was for 3 years. Yes. And wrote my initial test of competence and my assessment of professional competence.
Sure.
So then I qualified as a CA in 2022.
CASA in the building. We have a CASA guys in the building. Just so you know you're in good hands. I think relevant people, and if you take notes, the studies, these people are studying, hey. These people are really studying.
A bit of credentials.
Yeah, not a bit. Like CASA is a big credential.
Yeah.
So on your job, maybe you might be comfortable telling us where you work, like what do you do on a day-to-day basis before we get into the conversation.
So I think all I can say is that I work at a bank.
Okay.
So we need... So before I come to talks and stuff, I need compliance approval to be like, because people might say that these are the views of my employer.
You don't want that.
Yes, you get what I mean.
Yeah.
So I work at a bank, and so I'm in the investment banking division of the bank, and specifically in real estate finance or property finance. So I'm an analyst in the division, and that's what I do on a daily basis.
So you are buying property for the bank?
No.
What are you doing? We want to know.
So what happens is so the easiest way for me to explain it is it's a home loan, but not a home loan. So you know when you go to a bank and you want a home loan, there's a certain person that you meet there, whether it be a private banker or at a branch, right? So that's for individuals. Okay. So what we do is for companies. Companies like big corporates that own shopping centers and stuff. We do that for corporates. So a company would come to us to finance. Let's say they're building a mall or building a mall or buying like a shopping center, whatever it is. They'll come to us.
Malls, shopping centers.
Bank charges, they're the ones. They're the ones creating
financing
that money. Yeah, they're the ones financing
bank charges, guys. Our bank charges. Okay.
So they come to us, and then they're like, okay, we want, 500 million to purchase this shopping center. Then we say, okay, we're willing to give you that money, but we need security. So the security would be whatever other properties they have or that specific property. Then we would do a valuation of all the properties that we can take as security. So that is the most important thing, the actual security that the person is, the company is bringing.
Because I can imagine it's a lot of money that's being lent out.
Yeah, absolutely. So imagine 500 million going. Now you need some sort of some sort of collateral.
Okay. No, interesting. So for someone now who's interested in that space, do they have to now go through the whole accounting route, get their CASA certification and then find themselves there? Or is there like an alternative route that they can take?
So not even the CASA. We have so many people who aren't So I don't have property background, but
Okay.
many of the people
Yes.
in our division actually quantity surveyors. Some studied civil engineering, some studied
Interesting.
construction engineering, structural
Yo.
engineering,
Wow.
and others just studied finance and economics. So
Okay.
you don't need to be a CA.
Okay.
Having the CA just gives you that sort of edge in terms of you are able to analyze financial models
Yes.
in a way that makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
But having a property, so you can come there with like a civil engineering degree, but you
Okay.
it shows that you have construction knowledge, and that's what
Yes.
we need. You can come there as a quantity surveyor. So you just need to be willing to learn on the job, because
learn
majority
on the
of the
job.
work of the learning is on the job.
True.
anyways.
And even with our degree, it's the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
you come in, you have a lot of theoretical knowledge, but you actually land the job on
Yeah.
the job. So,
Yeah.
guys, this is why we find civil engineers and all those
And
things.
banks.
And banks.
While
yeah.
we have these problems in our country of load shedding, and they should be in their spaces.
I will. Don't start.
you
Don't
know,
start.
These electrical engineers
They
that
should
come
be
to
there at USCOM.
yeah, you know,
They're the
we have a
bank.
skills gap in the
Okay,
country. They're
true.
busy flooding the banks. We can't even get jobs in our own sectors because they're
They're
coming.
needed. They're needed.
Yeah.
I think what I love is just their skills are transferable. Whether they're there dealing with ESCOM
Yeah.
or the bank, they can still
Yeah,
learn.
so it
and
just
still
shows
make it
that
work.
Like studies and everything are important, but
Yes.
majority of the learning is on, and that's
On
why
the job,
experience
yeah.
is so important.
No, it is. And you also find people who did something like arts or politics becoming CEOs or whatever, and you're just like, okay, how did this
Yeah.
shift happen? You like, you in the insurance space, but
Yeah.
this is what you studied.
Yeah.
So it's also another lesson. Like, it doesn't matter what you study. Sometimes what you study can like literally be just what you studied, and
Yeah.
you might end up doing something completely different.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you've heard, I mean, it's an interesting story. Wipilo hasn't told us about this jam, like how great, you know, this person, you know, the whole journey.
Yeah.
Now the journey is out there, and, you know, I feel like you're an inspiration, honestly. You're so young, but you're doing so much, and hence I
Yeah.
brought you over today for us to just talk properties.
Yes.
Because I think when we say like young people killing it in property,
Yeah.
you're the first person I think of. I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, Sipho is the go-to person if you have a property creation.
Wow, I feel honored.
Oh, you should be.
Yeah.
The humbleness, I feel honored.
Yeah, I am honored.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, thank you so much for actually just accepting this
Yes.
invitation.
Yes, yes.
Now, tell us about your property journey.
Yes.
Where did you start? How did it happen? I mean, some kids are thinking about, you know, buying cars and everything. When you're like, no, property.
Yeah.
What kind of properties are you investing in? Just,
Yes.
you know, a bit of a background
Okay.
in that space.
So my journey started in 2019. So that was the year I started working.
Okay.
So I had
First your work already.
yeah, I was like,
Visionaries.
I was ready.
You were like, listen.
Yeah. I'm
First your
doing
work.
this.
I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So I had so I was fortunate enough to pass matric really well.
Of course.
So I won, you know,
And
but
money.
it can't be compared to you.
Oh no.
Yes. So the money
Of
was
course.
there.
I mean.
Yeah. so I managed to save up. I think I won about 30,000 in
Okay,
total. I
yes.
was like, okay, I'm putting this money in a fixed deposit for
Yes.
5 years.
For 5 years.
So I studied for 5 years. I knew that by the time I start working,
Yes.
this money is gonna mature.
Okay.
So I put it
That
down.
was smart. By
Yeah,
the
I
way,
was like,
because
no.
You get money, 30,000 for like a grade 12 student. You're
Yeah.
thinking, yes, the money.
Chow it.
Chow it. And then before you know it, before even
Yeah.
first semester ends,
Yeah.
you're already done.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I put
Yes.
all of it, and then I saved up as well, like during my varsity days. So when I started working,
You were the
I
guy
think-
saving for Levola during
Yes,
varsity days, right?
yes.
Guys, take hints, tips. This is the guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I saved up quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
Just before I started working. I
Okay.
think it was about 60,000.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, no, I need to make a meaningful investment. So I need to reinvest it
Yes.
somewhere because I
Yeah.
didn't want to like just finish it.
Yeah, child
So then-
without knowing where it went.
Yeah. So I really liked property because I was studied finance. I was in that kind of space where
Yes.
investments, what can I invest in? So for me, I just saw property as this thing that everyone talks about. Property investment, property
Yes.
investment, everywhere I
Yeah.
went. So I was like, okay. Then I became very interested because I did my research around it. And then
Okay.
I was like, okay, I think let me test the waters.
Okay.
Yeah. So I got a bit burnt.
Oh, it's good
Burnt
to
by
know.
the water.
The water you were testing burnt you
Yeah,
at
it
some
was a bit
point.
too hot.
Okay, we will get to that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's when the journey started, and so now I'm sitting on 4 properties.
Okay.
So, but I co-invest, so 50-50 with my brother and my
with
wife.
your brother. Okay. Hey,
Yeah.
we feel also
Yeah.
roped into this thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've baptized her.
Yeah, of course. I mean, come on.
You need
cannot,
to baptize your spouse.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
cannot have the grace for property at home and not
Yes,
partake.
yeah.
What is that?
Yeah.
Okay. So you spoke about being burned by
Yes,
property.
yes.
Tell us that story. What happened?
So what happened is, in my first investment,
Yeah.
it was a unit in Pretoria.
Sure.
So I went in and I was like, okay, I really like the numbers made sense and everything.
Yes,
Like,
it was like perfect.
yeah, it was like a perfect starter pack
Yeah.
to get into this market.
Ooh.
Then what happened is I went in, and then during the entire process
Yeah.
of the registration process,
Yes.
we realized that the seller was in arrears
Oh no.
in terms of his rates and
Oh,
municipal
levies
bills.
and all of that.
I don't know what happened. I don't know whether it was a conveyancing glitch,
Oh god.
because it's the conveyancer's
Yes.
responsibility to
they're
make sure
supposed
that
to pick
everything
it
is
up.
fine.
Yeah.
So then, this transaction is not going through. This transaction is not going through. And then
Yeah.
then the conveyancers told me that this guy is in arrears and there's no way he can afford
To pay.
to pay off like what he owes.
Yeah.
So then what happened is there's something called wasted costs,
Okay.
which means you might have paid something and the conveyancers might have done a lot of work,
Yeah.
and if the transaction doesn't go through,
You still need to pay.
you still
them.
need yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd already paid like
Sure.
so I'd already paid the bond attorneys. At least the transferring attorneys
Yeah.
were sort of like, I didn't have to pay them because the
Yeah.
transfer didn't actually go through. But the bond
Yes.
attorneys, they'd already done all the work.
All the work. Yeah. You can't say guys that don't go through.
So 16,000
Bye.
rand gone.
Yo.
And I was like, I can't really go to court
Yeah.
to claim from the seller. I
Yeah.
mean, the legal costs.
Yeah. They can't
'Cause-
even afford
yeah.
to just
Yeah.
pay the outstanding balances that they owe currently. So
Yeah.
what's the
So I was
point?
like, what, like, yeah, I just have to let it go.
You cut your losses.
Yeah.
Yo.
I was like, I tried like small claims court, but I was like, even just the hassle. of-
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
getting the dates,
Yeah, I
going
was just
there,
like,
and bringing all parties to.
I was just like, this is school fees.
Yeah.
So like, normally when you go into something and you
Yes.
haven't studied for it,
Yes.
the money that you lose, treat it as school fees. You know?
That word.
Yeah.
School fees.
School fees.
Okay.
I got schooled.
They were baptizing you
Yes.
into
absolutely,
property,
yeah.
so you had to pay.
Absolutely.
Sure, hectic. And then since then, has there been like any other things that have popped up where you're like, oh, okay, this is interesting as well?
You mean in terms of my
Your
journey?
journey, yeah, and just like some issues creeping up, perhaps with buying other properties as well.
I think from that experience and
Yeah.
me working where
Yeah.
I'm working now, like it's opened my eyes to.
Oh,
I'm able to sort of like request certain information prior to me
Okay.
entering into any transaction. So I
Okay.
think that experience
Taught
opened my
you.
eyes, but also working where I'm working now,
Yeah.
I know the things that I need to look out for
okay,
before getting into like any deal.
okay.
Yeah.
Now that you mentioned that,
Yes.
what are some of the things to look out for someone who's saying, okay, I'm also interested, but
Yes.
you know you're doubting because you don't know what you're getting yourself into. What are some of those things? Maybe like 5 questions,
Yeah.
you know, or 5 things to request if you are looking into investing.
I think the first one and the most important one would be is are you buying at the right price?
Oh, yes.
That's the most important question. Are you
Yeah.
buying? Someone can sell you a property. You think, oh, this is nice, whatever,
Yeah.
whatever. But are you actually buying at the right price? And you are able to see that through. You can get an estate agent not an estate agent, but an estate agency to get someone to do a valuation. Like they actually do it for free. They actually do a valuation of your property.
Yes.
There's reports like from Lightstone. There's an actual website called Lightstone
Okay.
where you get an actual valuation of, not a valuation, but sort of like what have similar properties in that area been selling at for the past 3 years maybe.
Okay.
So you're able to see, oh, okay, this property is 800,000, but in the same street, these properties have been selling for 400,000.
Okay.
So, and similar square meters, everything is the same.
Why is this one expensive?
Why is this one like 800,000? So that's the first thing.
Yes.
The second thing would be if you're getting into it for investment purposes, no, even for living.
Yeah.
You need to sort of know what you're going to be paying.
Okay.
It's not only your bond that you're going to be paying.
True.
Yeah. So you need to, if it's in a complex or estate, what are your levies?
Yes.
Ask for 3 months municipal bill for your electricity and water, because you can get into something and then actually realize like, hey, over and above my bond I'll be paying an extra 8,000 rand.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's another bond.
Yeah.
So
sure.
Getting proof, get proof of all those things.
Okay.
And then also if there's a tenant and you're buying it for investment purposes, ask for a lease agreement to see that there's an actual tenant and this is the rent that they pay.
Yes, because tenants.
Yeah. You need to find proof for all the money that you're going to be spending and all the money that you're going to be getting.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I'd say the other thing would be also just do your due diligence. Is this an actual real sale?
Yeah.
Because they can scam you.
Ooh.
So
imagine.
So that's the thing. Like, are these actual proper conveyances that are dealing with this process? If someone asks you for a deposit, don't send it to the seller. It's supposed to be sent to the conveyancers.
Yes.
So that's the thing. That's where people get scammed. The seller says, "Oh, 10% deposit." It's not to them. So that's the thing.
Okay.
So just be awake. In terms of scamming and all these things.
Yo, scams. Imagine it's a lot of money.
Yo,
in the
10% of a million rand. That's 100,000.
That's a lot. You don't wake up and stumble upon 100,000.
Yeah,
it's a lot of money. So now, just looking into property, I mean, I think when we think property, we think we need a lot of money to invest into it. And someone might be sitting at home thinking, yo, Mina, I hear 700,000 a million, but I don't have that money.
Yeah.
So to an ordinary person, you know, no trust fund, nothing. Yes. How do we get involved if we really want to invest in property?
And I'm not a trust fund baby. Like,
hey, louder here.
And actually, I didn't really need that 60,000 to begin with.
Yeah.
You actually, especially for your first investment, there are certain banks that actually even fund your bond bond registration and transfer costs. Yeah. Because it's called a jump start. Like they're literally getting you into the game. Like start like they're giving you a head start.
Doesn't matter what you
so you actually don't need any money to start.
Okay. Yeah.
So maybe in your second property, that's when you need to have saved up a bit.
Yeah.
But then like banks are more than willing to give you 100% bond, not even deposit.
Yeah.
If your credit record and everything is fine,
good.
They're willing to lend because it's a secured loan. Like they know that if you default,
they're
gonna come for the property.
They know they're gonna come for it.
So that's one of the misconceptions that people have about property. The fact that you need a substantial amount of money. You don't. Sure. If you're buying it through a bank, you actually don't need money at all.
Yeah, and that's how rich people, remain rich,
you
right?
Use other people's money.
Use other people's money to make more money. And poor people are thinking we need money, our own money to make money, but you just need to use other people's money.
Just use other people's money
Yeah.
and just make sure that the return that you're getting is more than what you're paying.
True.
That way, like, if I get R1 million from the bank, and I buy a property and I rent it out and I'm making way more than R1 million.
Yeah.
I mean, I use someone else's money to build wealth.
Yeah, to build wealth. Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah.
So what other misconceptions do people have around properties as we are, approaching, closing this conversation? I feel like we can go on for forever, but guys, for today, this is it. So what other misconceptions do people have?
I think the other misconception would be thinking that it's a fully passive investment.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Preach.
Yes. It all depends. Okay. So I literally yesterday had to drive to, because the lease for one of the units ended, and then the tenant moved in. Okay. So during this period, the previous tenant didn't clean the unit.
Oh no.
Some of the things are broken. Yeah. So those things have to be sorted.
Yes.
So it can be fully passive if not 100%. If you
Okay.
get if you get a managing agent,
Okay.
but they take 10% of many of them take 10% of your income. So is
Yeah.
it even worth it?
Okay. True.
So it's partially passive
Okay.
because you're gonna be chilling at home. Someone is using your place. They're paying your rent.
Yes.
But whenever there's issues, you might have to attend to them. So thinking that
okay.
it's fully passive, there might be issues that we need to have reserves
Yeah.
for repairs and maintenance as
True.
well.
Or when they decide to leave and you don't have a tenant as well
Yeah.
in the property.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the other one, obviously, that I mentioned was you don't need
a lot of
you
money,
don't need
yeah.
the capital.
Yeah. True.
You don't need the capital unless your credit score is not that great.
It's
And they
horrible,
require
yeah.
deposit, all those sorts of things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one last thing, issues with tenants, right?
Yes.
You see people like some tenants don't pay rent and all these issues.
Mm.
Have you had such issues and how do you deal with them? Because I know
Yeah.
like a couple of people who are struggling with their tenants. Their tenants are driving ODs and stuff, but they're not paying their rent.
Yes.
And the law is protecting them.
Yes.
So what do we do? That will be the final closing question.
So for me, my biggest investment is the student accommodation.
Okay.
And so we have 12 tenants there.
Okay.
So but we have an on-site caretaker who stays there, right? But the thing is, for certain things, they have to come to me. If he can't resolve certain things, they come to me. I don't want them to ever see me.
Okay. Why?
Because some of them, okay, maybe now I'm older than all of them.
Yeah.
But 3 years before, some of them
young.
were actually older than me.
Ooh.
And that created a thing of, this landlord is this young. We don't need to pay much. So I don't want them. I hardly ever go there.
Okay.
To know.
Yes.
So we have a caretaker. He's the one who stands his ground and whatever. But then sometimes we step in. Like I issue letters. I'm like, if you don't pay this, we are evicting.
Yeah.
But obviously they don't know about eviction law. I can't just evict.
Yes, you
but
can.
because it's a student, I'll just threaten them.
Threaten them and then they try.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then with the tenants at the apartments that we have, we've never had any issues.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's because we get an agent to place the tenant. So they do
credit score checks and all these things.
Yes.
Okay.
But then it's just a relationship between, like if they can't pay on time, just communicate. Then we're able to find a way to
accommodate
say,
you. Yeah. Okay. Well, that was it, guys. I feel like we could go on and on and on. Any parting words, last words? Where can people connect with you? You know, all those
So
things.
I actually have a consultancy business.
Ooh, plug yourself. I love this. I love it when my guests do this.
Yes.
Plug yourself. Yes.
Yeah, so we offer, like, if someone wants to buy an investment property, whatever, and you don't know the process and you want to avoid getting burnt.
Yes, of course.
Those sorts of things.
Yes.
You want to know, what do I do? What's an offer to purchase? What is this? How do I go about seeing the value, the return I'll be getting on an investment?
Yes.
So we do all the calculations for you. We take you through the entire process.
Yes.
So we have different packages. So they can reach out to you, and then we can take it from there. And then I also offer like 1 hour consultations for 250 Rand, which is, I think
it's affordable. 250 for 1 hour. That's affordable.
So that's what we do.
For this well of knowledge. Guys, you must take advantage. I think I'll be booking a consultation with you.
No, that's great. First,
definitely, it has to be me. I have to start. I'll be booking that. You must send me. Where do we book and start?
I'll send you all the details.
Okay,
I'll send you the. My wife corrected me. She said it's not a brochure. It's a brochure.
Oh my god! What I'll see English.
Yes.
A brochure. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll send you everything.
Please send it to you.
Yes.
So, guys, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this conversation as much as I did. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Also, follow Sipho and Wipilo's channel here on YouTube. I've been featured there a couple of times. So definitely give them a follow, subscribe. They're amazing people with just great wisdom. Yes. Thank you so much for coming.
No, thank you for inviting me.
Yeah.
Thank you for inviting me. It's always nice.
Yeah.
Just talking about this thing that I do on a daily basis, and
that you're passionate about.
Yes, you know.
Yeah. No, any last words for the people?
Last words, I would say, guys, it's really possible. And if the longer you wait, you know, the older you just becoming.
Yeah.
And it's much better to do this when you're still
young.
yeah.
Yeah, true.
So don't wait until the next 10 years to accumulate saying that you're going to buy a property cash. Because what's the point of buying it cash?
Yeah.
If the bank can just give you free money.
Yeah, true.
You know.
And then you can start.
You can
just
start,
do what
yeah.
you want to do.